Hi, guys. RIOT Podcast here.
We're making our way through this week.
Here's what's happening.
Here it is.
The fundraiser's just got a couple of days left. If you haven't given yet, do it now. RadioU.com. You click on Donate. Today we visit 2013, in which we talk about Fish McBites.
Fish McBites.
Sure. Obadiah goes to Blockbuster.
All right.
This is the second time we've done a 2013.
So maybe there was a little crossover.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know what happened, but here's the title. Nikki fell down this morning.
Oh, I don't even remember it, but it must have been good.
Must have hit your head.
Yeah, I wonder what I did. Someone let me know in the podcast. Will you text me back?
Tucking in shirts and muffin-top problems. That really gets you right. Obadiah's
hits you right in the gut, doesn't it?
Obadiah's on a food journey, and Nikki's on a spirit journey.
Yay!
So
maybe that was when the one time I dreamt when I was getting acupuncture that my spirit animal was talking to me.
The panda was talking to you?
It was a bear. It wasn't a panda bear. I think it was just a bear.
Yeah.
I don't see species of it. Okay, I just see bear.
All right. So, you know what? I feel like your spirit animal wants you to give to Radio U. So click on donate at RadioU.com.
Surprise, we're your spirit animals. And we're the ones who would like you to help support Radio U to keep this podcast going.
It's funny because it's real. It's the Riot.
Nikki's here to cheer you on. Michael's here to keep track of the numbers. And Obadiah's just here. Radio U Fall Fundraiser. 877-2-RADIO-U. RadioU.com.
So yesterday I told you guys how Blockbuster is closing 300 stores. That's Blockbuster Video. For no one who, they are a video rental chain in the United States that hit their prominence probably in the late 90s. Was that their stride, mid to late 90s?
3 movies on discs?
Yeah, they had so much growth then, and they kind of, their history was they kind of took out everybody.
Oh, they did. They torpedoed, every mom and pop video store in the world.
Almost you can imagine if Starbucks suddenly went, on the downturn, and they just became...
falling apart. No one wanted coffee anymore.
And that would almost be the equivalent of it back then. But they took out all the video rental places. So then Redbox obviously is very popular, and Netflix and all the other ways that we now watch movies instead of actually renting them.
Yeah, and so now it's Blockbuster's turn to pay the piper.
Oh, yeah.
So I've had this thing where I was like, dude, Blockbuster's going to not exist anymore. I need to go say goodbye to Blockbuster. So yesterday I totally did.
But you never went, really. Not that much.
A long time ago, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, I think.
Not
I can
enough
remember
to where you have to go and lay flowers at it or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, maybe maybe you need to, Nikki. Maybe your denial. You're gonna it's gonna close down, and you're gonna realize it's too late.
I'm gonna start crying. Yeah.
And it'll be like, what have I done? What have I done?
Oh, I only have a few around us, but as they close down more, they're gonna have so few in the country.
I only know of one.
Yeah.
Can you think of more than the one that's over here?
No, all the other ones closed down.
Okay. Me either. And I seriously have no idea where I would find another one. But I went and visited yesterday, and here's the first thing that I got. I started laughing, and I wanted to take a picture, but the manager was looking at me, so I didn't. There was a sign that said now hiring. They were hiring for 5 different positions.
Really?
Yeah.
So is that one that's not closing? Or?
I don't know the answer to that, but I do know that they were hiring, and I wanted to go in and be like, hey, you guys know they're closing 300 stores, right? You guys know that.
Thanks
so
for
you're
not
hiring?
Doing that.
I didn't. I just walked in and I looked around. And here's the one thing I will say is that Redbox is great if you want a new movie. But if you just want to rent an old movie, that is something that unless you sign up for Netflix, you can't just go rent an old movie.
I thought that's when you just went on YouTube to find it.
Maybe. But maybe I want to get it on Blu-ray or something. The idea of hey, I'm going to go get a DVD of blank. Yeah. I'm going to get Bad Boys 2. Or so, I don't know.
That's streaming.
I know. That's probably why I remembered it, but I just can't think of anything. A movie that's not streaming, you want to go get it. Yeah. You can't do that. You have to buy it, or you got to sign up for some DVD by mail kind of thing.
But I think the price to buy it is probably equal to the price to rent it.
True. Well, you know what? Most of the rentals in there were 99 cents.
Oh, they're down that low?
Yeah, most of them. Now, not all of them. There was a tiered system. Some of them were $1.99. Some were $2.99.
It's like you're going someplace new, even though it's really old.
There were tiers. I'll say that. The other thing, though, that got my attention is that they had huge sections of used Blu-rays for sale.
Oh, yeah?
They were buy one, get one free.
Ooh. Ooh.
And
what was the starting price?
Well, I saw a vampire hunting movie for about $12. And Nikki's like, oh, well, I mean, I could stop in.
I want to get Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
They didn't have, none of their movies were more than $12, and they were all buy one, get one free. And I looked at that.
Is it that movie, though, or is it the
No, it is.
The
like,
other one?
It's legit.
Is
like,
it
was
open?
all legit. What? Well, I mean, they're used.
Okay.
Like, they're the old rental discs. But they were buy one, get one free. And I will tell you, like, I carried a couple movies around, I'm buying them. And then it was like, what are you doing?
Stop buying
Why
stuff.
are you buying more movies, you fool?
Yeah, but you could have bought one, and then I would have gotten the free one.
Yeah, that's a great plan. We should do that. In fact, today we'll do it the other way, though. We'll go, you buy the one, and I'll get the free one.
No, we can each get a movie and then split it down the half.
Well, we do have a lunch meeting today. If we happen to, if the car drives itself over there on our way,
I'm not going in.
yeah,
you can go in.
You watch this. I will. By the end of the show, I will have you talked into it.
We'll see.
Yeah. Then Nikki keeps watching the price of that one Blu-ray.
Well, I've been watching it. It's like it was $26 or $29, and now it's $19.99.
If you count your free movie, it's really only about $6 or $7.
Maybe that's an option.
What if we go in on one together? All right, we each pick one out and we each pay our $6 or whatever.
That could work.
You know what, Nikki? I'm doing it for you. I'm just letting you know. So I said goodbye to Blockbuster, though I might be saying hi to him tomorrow. Maybe this is the Renaissance. Nikki and I are going to pull him back from bankruptcy right here with their used sales.
You don't have to have a card to buy a movie there, though, do you?
No.
Because I don't think I recall having one for quite some time.
No, none of that. None of that. Maybe while we're in there, we could rent a couple.
No, I don't want to.
Why don't we have Riot Movie Night tonight? We'll get together, we'll pop some popcorn. We'll just got to make sure we take the movies back tomorrow. Who's going to be the one that takes them back?
I think that's why we stopped renting stuff.
Probably right.
As much as I'm sure the Riot shouldn't be paid to eat food all day, I highly doubt they'll do it for free. Support great music, Riot taste tests, and the great American food industry. The Fall Fundraiser on Radio U. 877-2-RADIO-U. RadioU.com.
I thought this had already happened, but apparently not. No, I guess not. Maybe it was like a trial run. Some markets, some people, whatever. But coming to a McDonald's near you in mid-February is dysentery and vomit, deep fried and handed out. I'm, of course, talking about the Fish McBites.
Oh, yeah, they were testing those.
Okay, is that what it was?
Because we had those tested here, and I think they even tested them, was it during Lent last year, or maybe not?
Maybe.
Because if you ever notice, a lot of fast food places will get fish coming up in like a month.
Yeah.
And they might not have fish throughout the rest of the year, but they do that because if someone gives up meat for Lent, yeah, then they'll test a lot of stuff then.
Oh, what are you giving up for Lent this year, Nikki? Do you have anything left that you can give up?
What are you doing? I know you're not trolling, but you're being a smidge smarky with that. What are you doing?
I'm only half kidding. You've already restricted like so many things out. Like, there's nothing left.
Shame on you.
I'm just saying, all right? Nikki's the strong one. Make no mistake. For Lent this year, I'm giving up nothing. So... nope. I changed my mind. I'm giving up Fish McBites.
Okay,
right? I'm giving those up for Lent.
They don't
Couldn't
sound as
possibly do the Fish McBites for Lent this year. There's just no way. I understand. I get it. All right. Chicken McNuggets are whatever's left of a million different chickens ground up into this weird paste and then formed into a boot and fried. I get it.
Still think there's some sawdust in there.
There's the boot, and there's like the
other one.
There's like what are there, 3 different shapes, sort of? I get it, all right? But for whatever reason, I'm okay with that. But when you start talking about the Fish McBite, that's where to me, I'm just like, oh,
why
God.
does it weird you out?
Because
that's the same way they're making the fish sandwich.
I understand that. I get it. But there's something about, and I get it, again, a McNugget. I think really what it comes down to is, I think if I had been the age I am now when the McNugget was introduced in like 1978 or whenever the heck it was that McDonald's came up with a McNugget, I would be like, oh gosh, I'm going to be sick. It would have grossed me out. But I've grown up on the McNugget, and it's fine. But the idea of thousands of different fish just being thrown into a barrel, and they're just like, grind it up, boys. grind it up. Couple of eyes accidentally get in there.
The real reason is because you like chicken more than you like fish.
Well, there's that.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing. You don't like fish.
Fish is disgusting. Oh, gosh, it's so gross. And
So
it's so good for you.
It seems gross to
you. So they're grinding up these gross fish. They just keep grinding them up. And then they just spit out like, boop. Look, there's a little fish. Boop. There's some more. Okay,
It falls into the batter.
Let's put it in the batter and fry it, boy. That's good. It's like I have 40 different fish in this one McBite. 40 different fish.
That is no different than all the other stuff.
I already know that, Nikki, but I don't mind eating a bird. Come on, put a bird on it. Put a bird in it. It's fine. All right? But grinding up fish is just like, so barfy.
When will these fish bites?
They're saying to mid-February.
Mid-February, which is the start of Lent.
Yeah, it is. So you got about 3 weeks until it all happens. Hang on.
Well, they're trying also. I saw they have the chicken bite ones, too. The little, instead of chicken nuggets.
I actually find those to be gross, too.
Those have been out for a while. So now this is just a fish version.
Oh, I love the fact that the industrial food process has found a way. Is like, we got all these parts left over. What do we do with them? What do we do with all these parts? I've got it. We sell them as little bites. They're just bites. They're bits, really. But you turn it into a bite, right? It's so gross.
The faster you give, the faster we can get back to our regularly scheduled programming, which means less of the riot talking. It's a win-win situation. Donate now during Radio U's fall fundraiser. 877-2-RADIO-U. RadioU.com.
All right, so you ready to talk about it? Because I'll tell you what, over the weekend, something happened.
I saw your tweet about it.
All right, here's the deal. Last week was the last Monday or Tuesday, I can't remember which, we discussed an incident at which I went to what was basically a buffet.
Yeah.
And the buffet was started, and I somehow ended up at the front of the buffet line. And the sentence that was used to describe me was, and listen to the hurtful words that are coming out here. Are you ready for this? The phrase that I heard as I braved the unknown, as I, among this sea of followers, became a leader, I was told right there in front of all of those people by someone who, by the way, I mean, yes, I care about. They're an important part of my life, so what they say matters to me. The phrase was, "You're an embarrassment."
You feel how that hurts?
You're an embarrassment. You're always at the front of the line. Always.
Though you had been at the end of the line, but they started the buffet in the reverse order, so you didn't do that on purpose.
You're an embarrassment. So Saturday night, at a catered affair of sorts.
What are you doing going to buffets all the time?
Standing around with a group of people, and someone says, "Hey guys, go ahead and help yourself." And then I heard the words, "You're an embarrassment."
You big jerk.
Yeah. You're always at the front. Embarrassment, embarrassment, embarrassment. He's an embarrassment, embarrassment, embarrassment. So you know what I did? I hung back.
You waited?
I waited. And guess what the result was? And I'm not kidding. No one ate. No one ate.
What do you mean?
And so eventually there came a part when the festivities began and they packed up the food and carried it off. And no one ate.
So you didn't get any food?
No one ate.
You should have been a leader.
If I had just gone over there, I was starving. I didn't eat before I went because there was going to be food. And I was like, it's fine. It's fine. I'll just get something to eat when I get there. It's no big deal. So I get there. They set out the food. And they're like, okay, guys, help yourself. And I'm like, can't be the guy. Can't be the guy. Can't be the guy. Can't be the guy. Well, no one was willing to be the guy. So as a result, it's all over. And pretty soon, guess what people start saying? I wish I would have had some of that food.
It looked good.
Everyone's just talking about how they're hungry, and I'm just like, bring it back out. But it's gone. And no one ate.
You wanted to bring it back out to try again. You're like, I promise I'll do it this time.
I swear. I promise I'll go. And so there we are, this big group of people, no food, nothing to eat. And do you know why there was nothing to eat? Because one man was not willing to step up and say, yes, I'm an embarrassment, or so I've been told.
But now we're actually going to be able to eat.
But the result is now no one gets to eat. Great. So, you know what? Just let this be a lesson to all of us. The next time that family member, that friend, that whoever looks at you and says, you're an embarrassment. No. You're not an embarrassment. You're the one that's responsible for feeding these people. Because if you don't take that shame on yourself, all are punished. Are you willing to carry the shame so that others may live? I am.
Depends on how good the food is.
I've learned my lesson. I'm going to change, Nikki. I'll change.
So far, the Riot are the only ones we can convince to come in as early as they do. No Riot plus no money equals no Radio U. Support the Riot. Fall fundraiser, 877-2-RADIO-U. RadioU.com.
So, Nikki, I wasn't going to bring it up, but you tweeted about it, so we need to talk about it. This morning when I pulled into the parking lot.
I cannot win. My body hurts so bad.
It was really weird.
Terrible.
I pulled into the parking lot, and I saw Eric and Nikki had pulled in front of me. They were like, a minute here. I'm here a minute before I was. And I pull in and I stop and I'm like pulling my keys out and I look up and Nikki is sitting down in the parking lot next to her car. And I was just like, what is she doing?
What am I doing?
Like, I know the studio, it's far, but like what's going on?
No, I have a Yukon, which is a taller SUV. And then this one has the rail board along the side, like for you to put your foot on.
Yeah.
And so from the seat, I usually just slide kind of right out the chair onto the floorboard. Whee! And then right down onto it because it's that tall. And from the floorboard, I just put one of my foot on the ground, but it was all ice below it. So I went from sitting in the seat to then it pushed my feet out from underneath me, and then I went right down onto my butt, and that's where you saw me. And I was glad you didn't see the actual dismount. Because that was bad. I was so embarrassed.
You fell on your bottom.
I did, yeah.
Right, full on your bottom, and you shouted.
Yes, I did. I did. Well, I went to go for the bar, like the handlebar up on top.
Yeah.
And it grabbed it, but it wasn't enough to I just kept going.
No, the only thing that could have been better is I wish you would have ripped that out of the car. So you would have been sitting on the ground holding that. It's like, all right, it's really working out here.
Yeah.
I was sitting in the driver's seat, and I saw you shout, and then I turned over, and I looked, and I just saw you shoot right down, just disappear from you.
I did.
Like you fell in the hole.
It was great. It was really good. I needed that this morning.
I know.
I needed it.
You guys don't know, Eric and Nikki were in a car accident last week and in a parking lot accident this morning.
I'm doing good.
So
no insurance has to be called for this morning, though. That's just me.
I'm just wondering how things are going to go in your office today.
All I know is it's going to look
on a paper clip.
It's going to look like someone's beating me up if I have any more bruises. So you guys should all take it easy on me.
No. Your face is fine. So we don't have to worry about that.
That's every other part of me.
We're just hurting you in places that people can't see. That's just a little punch to the kidneys. Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, that was fun. That was really fun. It hurt not necessarily my pride, but it was enough.
Your heart.
It hurt my heart because it's Monday morning and it's dark out and I'm tired and I hit my butt.
Yeah. Well, again, it's just, I think I'm going to always remember looking up and just seeing you sitting in the middle of the parking lot like, oh, so that's how it is on a Monday.
That's how I get in. I don't like to actually walk into the office.
See, the thing is like this morning I laid down in my closet. I sat down in my shower. I thought that was just your version of that. Like, Nikki, I sit down in the shower. Nikki sits down in the parking lot. We're both, killing time before it's time to come in and start the show. It
was really cold too, so fun.
It was ice, but the good news is you're all right.
I'm fine.
She's okay, everybody.
She's okay. I'm up and I'm going.
Spirits are high.
No, actually, they're pretty low still. It's pretty low.
Things
are looking up. It's hard just to jump right up and act like everything's fine.
But you did.
Yeah.
Nikki's going to cry later. That's what I think.
If you combine the first initials of Nikki, Obadiah, and Michael, you get NOM. Coincidence? We think not. Let's get some chicken wings in here and get those donations going. Radio U Fall Fundraiser. 877-2-RADIO-U. RadioU.com.
I have no interest in going to a school board meeting. No interest. And then you get something like this, and you're like, man, everything is more awesome in Texas, isn't it? Dallas, Texas. The Dallas Board of Trustees for the local school district in Dallas met, and they're discussing dress code guidelines because the school board sets the dress code. And they had a dress code in which they were looking at forcing all students to tuck in their shirts.
Really?
Yep. Like
Public school?
Yeah. Because saggy pants, problem, whatever, you got to tuck your shirt in.
Oh, you want to show off your belt buckle.
Yeah, that's what it is. Well, I think that. Because all students also must have a belt buckle that features a firearm or a steer skull or something on it. All right.
The horns.
It's got to have horns. Is that regulation? It better be. I can totally see that. Yes. All right. There's that. But the idea of tucking in the shirts meant you couldn't, and I quote, bust a sag. And then we would have to look at your draws or whatever vernacular is popular in the state of Texas. But here's the thing I love is they've backed off of this. Now,
they backed that up.
They did. Now, look, no one was. That was the medicine right there. What you just said, that was the medicine. I want you to know that, okay? So, that was it. They decided that no one was willing to say the word. All right, there are words they weren't willing to say in this meeting, but one phrase they did say, and I quote, "In all respect, the tucked-in shirt makes the muffin top a little more accentuated."
Oh, so they didn't want to make students have to tuck it in case their body type did not fit with that look.
In case they were showing off, and I quote, "the muffin top." All right, they're concerned about bullying. Well, the school board is calling you muffin top, okay? That's some bullying to this guy right there.
Well, yeah, not everybody likes the tucked-in shirt look.
Yeah, not everybody likes a muffin top, per se. So they're saying that that's kind of, we don't want to do that.
So
are
they
right?
passing it, or are they still looking at it?
Other phrases that got used were heavier set. That was one. You know what's great is these are all words that I heard for me when I was in junior high. Husky. Heavier set, thick, big boned.
But they want to watch how they say it.
Big guy. You're a big guy. Gonna play football? You're saying? It's like, yeah, shut up, all right? Just stop it. So, yes, they didn't say it, but they've decided to back off of that a little bit because, of the muffin top concerns. Put me in that meeting. Put me in that meeting. I want to be there. Everything's really serious. And somebody busts out the phrase muffin top. And you're just like, excuse me, are there snacks? Like, oh, the people. The people. Do you mean, are you talking about me? Are you talking about this right here? Is this a muffin top?
They're trying to be very delicate about it.
Oh, put me in that room. Please put me in there. Remedy Drive.
It's almost like you want to be tagged in.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
let me into the ring.
It's like, for those of you that don't know what a muffin top is, Bob, stand up, okay? Now, as you can see here, Bob's pants are the muffin bottoms, and the way Bob spills out, that's the top.
You'll find Obie and Nikki on their best behavior during the fundraiser, and it has nothing to do with money. It's because Michael's in the room. The Fall Fundraiser on Radio U. 877-2-RADIO-U. RadioU.com.
I don't want to be doing personal stuff on work time. I mean, I'm sorry. But you know what I'm doing right now is I'm checking my route. I'm, road tripping in a couple weeks for vacation.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, so I'm trying to plan out.
Like where you want to stop?
Yeah, food.
Yeah, food stops?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at right now. So from what I can see right now is 3 hours from where I'm going to start my journey, I could find a Tudor's Biscuit World.
That is exactly what it sounds like.
Yeah, it is. Well, here's the thing. I got a message from, or if you look at our Facebook wall for the riot, somebody just posted, "Hey, I'm eating at Tudor's Biscuit World today."
Oh, it reminded you?
I'm just like, no, shut up. And last summer, I tried to get to a Tudor's Biscuit World. I went from where we are, like, where did I drive? Into Maryland. And I purposefully mapped out where I could hit up.
You even went through traffic to get there.
It was the worst. I was in West Virginia. I can't remember whatever city it is where West Virginia University is. It was move-in day. I didn't even know that. So I got off the freeway, and I'm like, it's fine. I'm fine. Everything's what is going on? Driving around, I get to Tudor's Biscuit World at about 2:20. They close at 2. It's just like,
it was
what?
So close. To where someone might still be in the building.
You know what's the worst part of that is that I stopped and went running. That took about 40 minutes. If I had skipped that stupid run, I could have eaten biscuits.
Well, outside of that, I'm assuming you're stopping by Wawa's?
Yeah, there'll be a Wawa. That's somewhere in Florida. And then, Eric, I got to find a Cookout.
Cookout is also just what it sounds like. Cookout is like a shed.
Yeah.
And the shed, all the food is incredibly cheap. A lot of bands that we play eat there, too.
Yes.
It's
so
one of those places
bands.
where you can get, what was it? The combos was what they were telling the most. Because, here, traditionally you have a combo where it's say a meat item and then a side dish. And your side dish would be like French fries or something that would be an equivalent of that. But there you could have like a hamburger, but your combo could also have a corn dog or a quesadilla. And then they have like...
Quesadilla?
Okay, they have like what? I don't know, 100 milkshake flavors or something.
It's absurd.
And you're
Something
getting
absurd.
like 5 days worth of food for like $1.99 to where it's so cheap it's actually starting to make you worried.
Well, it's good. Like, they're all over. Like, I'm going to be passing through Charlotte, North Carolina. There are like 10 locations in Charlotte.
Yeah.
I'm set, dude. This is no problem. All I got to do is determine the time between Tudor's and Cookout because I got to be able to get to both.
That's a lot of food like that.
You know what's awesome, Nikki? That's just the first day.
That's just the stop of it.
That's
okay.
day one.
I worry because then, Wawa's a gas station, but it's not even like a gas station. It's like a convenience center.
Yeah.
And there they have the donuts that you like.
That donut that I want.
And the breakfast stuff.
They go in there like, I'm here for the donut. Like, hey, security, we got a guy you need to come in and take a look.
So you're basically planning this whole thing out.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking about it. And here's what's really sad is there are so many other things I should be excited about for this trip. And instead, I'm thinking about these stupid little, dive fast food restaurants where I really want to go eat. That's what I want to do.
And it's not like going in to eat. All these are drive-thrus. All of them.
Yeah,
you don't actually go in.
They don't, pay for expensive things like tables and chairs.
Oh, I don't even think the Cookout you can go in.
I don't think you can either, but I will tell you that Tudor's, at least the one that they locked me out of because they closed, they had it inside.
They had it inside? Well,
I could have gone in there and sat down.
It's easier just to go through the drive-thru.
But it was also a renovated Arby's, so,
Well, just pace yourself. Okay, because otherwise you're going to come back.
About every 3 or 4 hours. See, here's the bad part is this is the day, I'm planning this out, this is the day after the RadioU 5K.
Aww.
So it's like June 8th.
You're going to be hungry.
I'm going to be really hungry. Nikki, I'm going to take so much out of my body to run that 5K that I need to put some things back in it. So that's what I'm going to do.
It's going to be a milkshake and a donut.
And other things. I mean, we haven't even talked about the bacon or the deep fried chicken that'll go on that biscuit.
I'm so bummed during our road trip. Mm-hmm. It's all through the desert.
Yeah.
There's actually no stops.
Well, Nikki, the good thing is that you're going to go on a spirit journey. I'm going to be...
You're such a tour.
You're going to see things.
You're on a food journey, and I'm through a spirit journey.
Nikki's going to be out there and be like, I had a vision.
Well, I try to find fast food places, but there are not any. I don't even have any gas stations.
I saw Obadiah, but he was 50 feet tall, and he was crushing everything I loved. I think that's what my life is.
The eagle let me do them.
At the end of this journey, now I'm different now. I can see things no one else can see.
Oh, my gosh.
Do things no one else can do.
I was thinking I was drinking from a fountain machine, a Coke freestyle machine, but it was a puddle of water.
I'm not a vegan anymore. I ate a vulture to live. It's desert life.
This was the worst of the riot, and we'd like to congratulate you on having the stomach to stick around to the very end. The riot exists because RadioU exists, and RadioU only exists because of your support. Find out more and give now. at radiou.com/donate.